Okay, Red Riding Hood. What do you think it is about this story that modern audiences would recognise that they could relate to?
Well, I think, the idea of taking like the classic fairy tales and then finding some new levels of meaning in it as, something that's fascinated people for a long time. And why have these stories stuck with us? Because they are maybe on the surface deceptively simple, but they're symbolic of like all these kind of fears and desires and sexual awakenings and the red cloak and everything. So the screenwriter David Leslie Johnson took that. He went back to the original story, even before the Brothers Grimm kind of sanitized it, and there was a werewolf in the story. And so he thought that added this super cool element of, a shapeshifter, somebody that leads a secret double life. And that's something I think that's kind of fun for us now. We can lead our double lives online or, other ways. So I think there were a lot of fun elements. And then the paranoia that's created by like the Homeland Security person played by Gary Oldman coming in and stirring up suspicion among everyone in this village could be a murderer.
Yeah. Well, fairy tales are kind of hot in Hollywood at the moment. I mean, there's several Snow Whites planned apparently. I mean, what's your take on that? I mean, are you surprised by that, or do you think it was inevitable that we'd end up going back to?
Kind of fun. I mean, it's like there are these layers of meaning that people keep finding in them and ways to reinterpret them. So maybe that's what's great. They have these iconic characters that you can keep kind of mutating them into something new.
Yeah. I suppose there's going to be inevitable comparisons made to Twilight, little movie that you were involved with a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look back on that experience, I mean, are you surprised by this huge phenomenon that it became?
Yeah, I mean, I knew that there was a passionate following for the book. We didn't know how big. And then, of course, when we announced the movie and the casting and everything, it started growing, even more. And then Stephanie So Radical wrote, 2 more books while we were in the process, and the everything just started growing at the same time. So I don't think anyone saw that it was going to be so big, or obviously Paramount and Fox and the other companies wouldn't have given it away.
Yeah.
They passed on the project, And so a new company is the one that seized on it, and it really took off.
Were you glad to get out when you did, or escape the madness of it? Or?
Well, for me, I would not really want to do the same thing again. That would be too much. I think as we work. I mean, some directors are great and they can, keep working the franchise, but that one was going to be instantly. I wouldn't have even had one day off. I would just start on the next one. And I kind of needed to breathe.
Yeah. I mean, you work very well with young actors. I mean, and you took a lot of flack at the time for insisting on Robert Pattinson, for instance, and that proved that you were vindicated for that choice.
Right.
I mean, he's so huge now. I mean, are you still in touch with him, or what way you knew this was going to happen? Did you?
I think it's so funny, that right when we first announced that it was Robert, people were just shocked. Oh, he's horrible. And then Robert would come to me and look, oh, here's somebody online says I'm disgusting. I'm like, well, don't read that. He goes, well, my mother sent it to me.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we started, showing how he was going to look in the movie, and, and people just fell in love with him for same reasons I thought he was going to be great. So, I mean, it's great.
Do you think you've launched 2 more hunks from this movie? Do you think these are going to be pin-up Max and Shiloh? Are they going to be huge?
Well, I think some people are going to like them because they both have their own special qualities. They're both, soulful and sexy and fun and, unique, original. Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Fantastic.